Well, you should vote. You have to contribute to society.
It's a school election. Nobody cares, okay? Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. My name is Jasmine, and as you can tell, this is my second channel, Jasmine Baker 2. I do non-art related stuff. I have some story times that I want to tell you guys. Maybe you'll learn a lesson from some of them. Today we're going to be diving into my past. I'm going to tell you two story times. One is going to be from high school, my junior year, I believe. Yes, my junior year to be specific. And the other one's going to be from elementary school, which was 5th grade. Both of these teachers were, for lack of a better word, messy. I really disliked them after they did certain things and said certain things. So I'm going to tell you guys why. If these story times make you really mad, well, we are on the same page, because most parents would not allow a teacher to talk to their kids that way. Now, I know that now that my parents probably could have filed some kind of a complaint, but I don't really know where that would have gone. You can decline to do stuff if it has nothing to do with your curriculum. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Okay, well, you just learned something today. The title, Messy Teachers. It kind of comes from Nikki Glamour. I saw a video that she did called Messy Teachers, so I kind of got inspiration from that to title it. I'll probably title this video something along the same lines. I'm gonna do the high school one first and kind of go backwards from there. I took a culinary class. It was a beginner one, and I already knew how to cook everything in there because I had already had a routine of cooking dinner for my family. Sometimes I would just like start dinner because I knew my mom wasn't going to be home for a while because she worked, and I know she was like tired coming home, and I already knew how to cook. So sometimes I would have meals ready or almost ready because us kids were pretty hungry coming home from school, so we had to eat something. They were just making really basic stuff. I was like, you know, this is like a really easy A. Another thing before I start these story times, I just want to say that if you are in school and a teacher does or says something to you that you feel is disrespectful, then you definitely should stand up for yourself or tell someone. You can always file a complaint. Usually there's witnesses around because it's a school. Other people can usually vouch for you. A teacher should absolutely not berate a student for respectfully choosing not to participate in certain things, especially when a student lives by certain beliefs. That's a really important theme for this video. You would think after teaching for however many years this guy has been teaching, because he was well past 50 years old at this time, and I was in my junior year, so most of the class was made up of like sophomores, seniors, juniors. Well, no, I think it was a mix of everyone, if I remember correctly. It was a beginner's culinary, so I think all 4 grades were in that class. I'm not sure. I don't know. You would think that this culinary teacher, after however many years he's been teaching, that he's had at least one student before me that has different beliefs than him. I mean, this guy was at least 50 years old, and if I have to be completely honest, he reminded me of Colonel Sanders from KFC because of his white hair and his glasses. Every time I see Colonel Sanders, that teacher pops into my head. You know how in school they have those school elections where you pick a president and a vice president, blah blah blah, titles that probably don't really matter or make a difference, but everybody that is running in the election obviously really cares about it. It just looks like titles to me. Honestly, school elections, I literally could not care less. It does not matter to me. It doesn't affect my grade. It doesn't affect the tasks and the homework that I am assigned, so I don't care and I don't want to participate. My older brother and I were only 1 grade apart, and we have different last names, but the teacher didn't know that we were related, so we ended up being on the same team at the same station. So that was weird. My brother was really mean then, so I really did not want to be around him, but I didn't have much of a choice. This teacher was passing around election ballots or voting ballots for the school election, so he was handing all these little papers around to people. So he was going around to each station, each group of people, and he was like putting all these ballots on the steel tables that we have at each station. because he wanted people to participate in it, and I was like, okay, that's fine, you guys can do that, I'm not gonna do it. He goes back around after about, I think, 10 or 20 minutes or so, because he assumes that everybody's already filled them out. And then when he gets to my station, he's like, why is this one blank? And I said, no, I'm good, I don't want to participate in that. Explain to me why this man acted like I verbally assaulted him. He starts in saying things like,
well, you should vote. You have to contribute to society.
it is a school election, sir. No one cares, especially me. He talks enough to the point where I space out. I tend to do that when people I don't like are berating me. I will space out. And he's talking loud enough to where everybody in this group of stations can hear, and like all of these people are staring at us because he's talking loud enough and trying to make me feel bad. I literally do not care, and I'm just standing there like awkwardly, and I'm trying to think of what to say next, and I have really bad anxiety, especially when a lot of people are staring at me in a small room. My brother just stood there with this look on his face as I'm getting berated by this teacher. The teacher goes on and on. I don't remember everything that he said because, as I said before, I kind of spaced out after he said the first couple of sentences, so I don't remember everything that he said. He was just standing there for about 20 to 30 seconds talking about how I should contribute to society and voting makes a change, and yeah, okay, whatever. The school election is that important to you, then I don't know what to tell you. You're not making a difference in my life right now by talking to me this way. I mean, you are, but not a good difference.
Stop it. Get some help.
He goes to the next station, so I walked back to my seat, and I'm just sitting there like praying, and I'm like, please don't do anything stupid, Jasmine. Don't say anything stupid. Let it go. I was trying not to cry because, like I said, I have anxiety, and it was just a very awkward situation, and I didn't want to be there. Yeah, I was just like praying in my head, and I didn't know what to do, and I walked back to the station, and the teacher, he comes back, he returns to my station, and he starts apologizing to me for what he said. To me, it's not much of an apology because he's like,
I'm sorry for the way I said that, but I believe that you should contribute to society. I feel voting is very important and you should do your part.
sir, do your part and walk away from me. That's how you can help the both of us. I won't let people talk to me like that. Whether I know them or it's a customer, I will not put up with it. I've worked in a call center. I've had people scream at me and call me every name that you can think of. I have gotten apologies from some customers because they act a fool. They act like they don't have any home training. It should not even be taught in schools, honestly. Certain things should not be taught in schools. They're not part of the curriculum. You should not be forced to take part in celebrations or elections. If you don't want to do something in school because it's against either your personal beliefs, your religion, or whatever, I don't think that you should have to do that. You should not be forced to do that, nor should you be berated like that in front of people for not participating in something that is completely voluntary. That is ridiculous. Oh, the second story. I think I hate this one more than the first story. Ugh, this lady. I'm gonna tell you why, because I got flashbacks just a few years ago, and I swear I saw this lady at my brother's graduation, and I couldn't put her face to it. I just could not remember where I saw her face before, and then I realized she was my 5th grade teacher. I don't know how this woman was still in education because she was weird. It might enrage you, so just hold your comments until the end. Just wait until the end, and then you can be angry. And for the longest time, I forgot about this incident. However, in 2018, my little brother graduated high school. And I swear on my life, she was the speaker at his graduation ceremony. I hadn't realized that it was probably her. It took me a while, like a day, and it bothered me the whole day. Like, why does she look so familiar? Where have I seen this lady? There's gotta be some trauma attached to this lady because I know I've seen this face somewhere. I have seen this face many, many times somewhere for a long period of time. Then it hit me. She was my 5th grade teacher. I thought I would never see her again. I hoped I would never see her again. I was in the audience watching my brother graduate, so the audience was dark, and she wouldn't have recognized me anyway, I'm sure. I am like 95% sure it was my 5th grade teacher. She had a very distinct look. Still had a similar hairstyle that she had when I was a kid, and that was what 17 years ago, 18 years ago. I will never forget what this teacher did because it made me look at teachers differently from that point. Because you know, in 5th grade, you're just an innocent little kid. You're just trying to get through life, do your spelling, your cursive, your math, learn how to type on a computer. That's what you're supposed to learn in 5th grade. And I don't know if she got complaints from parents after this happened, but I hope that she had complaints against her because she was weird. It really stuck out in my mind for a long time. And I think I told my mom and my grandma later. I don't know if I told them the same day. I really honestly don't. I don't remember. It's been so long. We're gonna call her Mrs. J. I don't remember when in the year this was, but we were far enough into the year for us to start getting homework assignments from Miss J. She was talking to the class and she was telling us about us frequently turning in late assignments or not at all. And it was the 5th grade, for crying out loud. Most 5th graders are not that organized. They're kids. They probably have a lot of homework, and kids are just not very responsible. You can't hold them up to the standard of like a college kid doing everything on time, and even college kids don't do everything on time. Anyways, she kept complaining to us about missing assignments, and she kept saying,
if you guys don't start turning in your homework, I'm gonna start doing backpack checks.
And then she goes on to say,
if I do backpack checks, I want to see everything in a folder.
So one day she took it upon herself to instruct everyone to get out of their seats and line up on one side of the classroom. We had these tables and each table would hold like 3 or 4 students. So we had to like take our backpacks off of our chairs and sit them on the table, and then she would make us line up all single file or side by side on the side of the classroom and make us stand there and watch her go through everybody's backpack. I remember she had this big trash can. She would just take the trash can to each table. She would go through the student's backpack, and if she found something that wasn't in a folder, she would throw it in the trash. When she got to this one boy's backpack, it was like the most tense but funniest moment. She threw away a bunch of papers he had, but she also took this foil thing out of his backpack, and it turns out the kid had a corn dog saved from lunch in his backpack. Anyways, back to the story. So you guys know that I've been drawing for a long time, and yes, in elementary school I was known as the artist. I think I've always been known as an artist throughout my entire school life. I always wanted to do the artistic stuff in projects, so people would always want me in their groups because I could draw things that were needed for the project. I ended up being known as the artist, so I always had art stuff in my backpack. I always had markers and pencils. I had these 2 little drawings in my backpack. I had gotten them graded and I got them back, and I remember I was kind of extra as a kid. That's one thing that stands out in my mind, is they had a lot of glitter. When she got over to my backpack, she saw that those were not in a folder, so she threw them in the trash. I remember trying not to cry. I remember once we got to sit down again, everything felt so awkward, and then she just went on teaching like it was normal, like nothing had happened, like she didn't just invade everyone's personal space. And don't say it was because of weapons. That was not even the thing. That has nothing to do with this story. That is not why she checked people's backpacks for safety reasons. She was doing it because kids were not turning in things consistently like she wanted, or they weren't even turning in things at all. But she should not have invaded people's privacy like that. That is horrible, and she should have been fired. Yeah, it was just the weirdest feeling. I know people they felt that their personal space was violated. I don't think you forget that. I really hope that she got complaints from the parents, because she had no business doing that, and she had no business having the ability to still teach after doing that. So those are my 2 stories that really stand out from my childhood. Let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you in the comments, because up to this point, I've never heard of anything else like this happening to other people, but maybe it has. There's stranger things that have happened in the classroom, but backpack checks, I've never heard of that with anyone else. I'm still trying to figure out an upload schedule for this channel. I might alternate it with my art channel, so I'll probably post here on the Fridays where I'm not uploading to my main channel. So you can subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can get notified every time I upload here. I hope to see you guys next time. Leave a comment and let me know what is the weirdest thing that has happened to you in school, or what is the weirdest teacher that you've had. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!